I think what excites us the most at Treyarch is that we're really taking the gloves off with the story and narrative. We're making a complex story for a complex gamer who can follow an overarching narrative. And it's going to have lots of twists and turns and surprises in it. And you know, one might say that World at War's story wasn't that you know, deep and complex, but you know, this time we're really focusing on good storytelling. And then multiplayer, it's such an important a piece to Call of Duty. So, like I said, we have a dedicated team working on that from day one. Let's put it in perspective for you. We had multiplayer started and up and running so early in the project that some single player levels actually are being built around multiplayer maps that we had in production. So it's not the other way around. It's not single player maps being brought into multiplayer. It's multiplayer brought into single player. So you know, that's how ahead of the game they were. World War II wasn't necessarily played out. We did a lot of World War II games. That's no secret. But to us, Black Ops, this Cold War setting, was just it was an opportunity. It's never been done before in the Call of Duty franchise, and really any other Cold War era shooter. You know, I personally, I don't know of any that I've played, so it's just an opportunity for us to maybe, you know, set that bar of what a Cold War game could be, and have something that's brand new and fresh in the franchise. It's not just a Vietnam game, which was the big rumor online. It's a game that has some Vietnam in it for sure, but it's not about Vietnam, and it's going to take you around the globe from a number of different deniable operations. You know, these Black Ops, these things that if these soldiers were captured, that, you know, we would have to disavow all knowledge of, because it would start World War III. You know, if Russia knew that we were invading their, you know, their Soviet weapons manufacturing facility in the Ural Mountains, if they found out that that was us, that would be all it would take for them to start launching missiles. We got to hear stories from like advisors like Major John Blaster, who is the foremost published author on the subject. He was actually a member of SOG, which is the Studies and Observations Group. And this is just the best of the best, most elite fighting force that you can imagine. They would operate in Vietnam and in other areas around the world, and they would do these missions that are just crazy. And they could have anything. They would walk into an armory and they'd go, yeah, all right, I need you know, 3 50 cals, and I need, you know, to retrofit that Jeep with this 50 cal, and we need to have that Huey, and they would just select whatever they needed for their mission, and they could have it, they could take it. So. In terms of gameplay, that really allowed us to take the gloves off, because we could do a lot of cool stuff. Like the stuff the stories he was telling us, it's like, no, that really happened, and as game designers, we're like, that's going to be really fun to play, so let's go do it. You know, these are black operatives. You need to be able to handle the wide array of combat scenarios, whether it's the stealthy sequence or the run and gun action sequence, kicking ass sequence, even the weapon ammunition type. You know, you got to experiment with either the different tips for your crossbow, whether it's just your traditional bolt or your explosive tip. You know, you shoot a guy in the leg and his leg blows off, or the SPAS 12 shotgun. You know, we got to use those incendiary rounds. They're called Dragon's Breath, and so they literally they explode when you shoot them. And you can find YouTube footage of it. It's crazy. We're really focused on this diverse experience, and part of that is we're creating these new characters. So because we have these SOG units and these Black Op forces that are the best of the best, you know, they graduated top of their class, they're charismatic, they're natural leaders. These are really cool guys. You're no longer just a normal foot soldier in the army. You have a voice for the first time in a Call of Duty game. Your character will speak and be the one giving direction, and you'll have a face that you'll recognize. You'll be playing from the perspective of 2 main characters primarily, Mason and Hudson. And these guys both are just part of these CIA-backed Black Ops teams, and so they're going to be leading you through all these different hot wars around the globe. We've been working on Call of Duty games for years. We had Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1, Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty World at War, you know, Modern Warfare Reflex for the Wii. It's just we have a really long track record in the Call of Duty franchise, and we feel like we really understand the engine well and the fans well, and so, you know, this game hopefully is going to be that pinnacle of all the learning. And so, you know, we're really taking the gloves off with this one, and we're committed to making the best game that we've ever made.